Welcome back to Fourth and Pain, the only pro wrestling show hosted by an NFL player and a weight loss champion. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Fourth and Pain, also online, fourthandpain.com. But right now, we're going to dial up the hotline, talk to the Fourth and Pain Championship Player of the Week. Adam, you're a teammate. You do the introductions.
None other than the Ryan Kerrigan.
Ryan, how are you, my friend? Thanks for joining us.
I'm great. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, man, we greatly appreciate it. Now, I know that this week didn't exactly go according to plan, but I'll tell you, sitting up in the press box on Sunday, you played a pivotal role in that Rob Jackson interception, the pick six early in the game. Can you talk a little bit about what that was like?
You know, that was a good way for us to rebound from the bad start we had with the long touchdown pass on the Wildcat formation. So it was good. It was a good job by our punt team to get to pin the Bengals back there in the first place, and then we were able to make a play, and Rob made an awesome catch on the touchdown, and kudos to him for stepping up big in Rack's shoes.
Now, Adam, you were sitting at home watching this one. You weren't there, obviously. You just had the knee surgery. What was your reaction?
I was laying down, and I about left off my bed, if that's even possible, with one leg. And I remember yelling downstairs to my wife, "They just got a touchdown!" And she's like running upstairs. What happened? What happened? And they showed the replay, and Kerrigan got through in like a half a second, hit the quarterback, and Rob made the catch for the touchdown. So, and I don't know if you watched the rest of the game, focusing on Kerrigan a lot, but I did a little bit. He was back there a lot. I think he had another half a sack throughout the day, if not a whole one, and he was just back there harassing the quarterback the whole day, just doing what Captain America does. That's his nickname, by the way, is Captain America.
Captain
if you didn't
America.
know that.
I don't think that one's made the media yet.
Well, that's just kind of between him and me. I'm Bane, he's Captain America. So.
Are you a superhero guy, Ryan?
I definitely enjoy my superheroes. I mean, that Avengers movie was pretty sweet.
So talk to me a little bit about this defense, giving up a few more yards than you would like this year, but give me some positive. Give me some things that, fans may not see on Sunday afternoons, but you guys know are actually going according to plan and are going well and are serving the Redskins well.
Well, I mean, I think for the most part, we're doing a decent job stopping the run. Especially this past Sunday, I think the longest run we gave up was a quarterback scramble, which that's just one where you have to hustle your best and try to get to the quarterback as soon as you can. But I think for the most part, we're playing the run pretty well. We just got to eliminate some of the big plays and tackle better, and we'll be in good shape.
What I've noticed this year from you in particular is I don't think we've had a preseason game or a regular season game without you getting a sack or a half a sack. I mean, all the way back to the Bills game, to every regular season game this year. It just seems like you've just progressed so much from year one. What has made you feel so much more comfortable in this second year in the defense?
I think just having the experience, just knowing what I need to do is allowing me to play faster and giving me more confidence and more assurance in what I have to do. And just physically getting more comfortable playing on 2 feet versus having my hand in the dirt has been something that really has come a long way from the start of last season to OTAs and throughout training camp until now. So the more I do it, the better I feel, and I just got to keep working at it every day in practice.
So you think that you've fully transitioned into a 3-4 guy at this point?
I don't know. I still think I'm a work in progress for sure. I still got a lot of room to grow. I got to still improve a lot, and then in all aspects of the game, pass rushing, coverage, playing the run. But I'm happy. I'm happy with how I've progressed, but I'm definitely not where I need to be.
Well, hypothetically speaking, if for some reason Washington switched back to a 4-3, do you think you would be comfortable putting your hand back in the dirt and going back to playing a little defensive end?
Yeah, I mean, sure I would. I mean, that's what I've done for my whole life. I mean, I've only played linebacker for a year and 3 games now. So, I mean, I played with my hand in the dirt my whole life growing up, all the way back to Pee Wee football. So, I think I could do that. But I mean, I'm happy being a linebacker now.
Well, Adam, that brings me to this question. If your knee were healthy, do you think that you could make a switch with Ryan and actually play a little linebacker?
A little outside linebacker?
Little OLB, baby.
I can rush the passer. That downfield coverage, it would be the bump and run from hell, and then after that, I can't guarantee anything. That guy's not getting off the line of scrimmage, but after about 10 yards, good luck to everyone else.
Hey, Ryan, I know that you went to Purdue, obviously, and then Philip Daniels in the front office. His son is playing at Notre Dame. Is there any friction between the two of you, a little bit of trash talking given that rivalry?
Oh, there definitely was the week we played each other. I mean, he was saying, "Oh, my boy is going to have 150 yards on you guys," and all this stuff. And his son did play a pretty big role in them winning. It was a lot closer than I think he and a lot of other people expected, but it was a tough one to watch the Boilers go down against the Irish.
Every Friday, Phil walks around our facility with his, I think it's a Clover. Is that the Notre Dame
Shamrock.
thing? Shamrock. I apologize. Shamrock hat on. He's got the green collared shirt on, and I think he's got like a green watch on. John Cena green wristbands on. I mean, he's just sporting that Notre Dame stuff head to toe every Friday. He's very, very proud pop of his son, though. I can't blame him.
Well, I have to support that. Being an Irish fan myself, sorry, Ryan, I do cheer for
man.
old Notre Dame.
Oh, no.
These things happen. Don't worry about it. It could be worse. I could be a Nebraska fan.
Yeah, well, then you'd actually have some smarts.
Hey, you're listening to Fourth and Pain with Adam Carriker and Chuck Carroll. On the hotline with us, Redskins linebacker Ryan Kerrigan. And Ryan, this is a half pro wrestling, half football show, so naturally we have to ask you if you watched wrestling growing up. This is a very important question.
Oh, absolutely. I was a huge wrestling fan growing up. I mean, I was a kid in the backyard on the trampoline, trying body slamming my friends, trying to wrestle with them. I definitely love me some pro wrestling.
Who was your guy growing up? Were you a Hulkamaniac?
You know what? I like the big name guys. I like Bill Goldberg. I like Kevin Nash when in the old WCW days, and then throughout when he became the WWE, I became a big fan of Batista. The Batista bomb. That was the coolest move.
Wow. Goldberg is actually a pretty good friend of the show. It just so happens that, he and Mr. Carriker here have become fast friends.
We are getting along pretty well. I mean, he is actually a huge football guy. Played at the University of Georgia, played in the NFL for a while. He's actually a huge football fan.
Now, Ryan, obviously your days now are spent doing, the whole football thing. You're earning a living in the NFL with the Washington Redskins. But do you still get a chance on Monday nights or maybe on Friday nights to turn on a little WWE and see what's happening?
I don't watch it much anymore. But I mean, if I ever am flipping by USA and I see Raw is on, then I definitely will click it on for a few minutes because it is still fun to watch. Even though I'm not as familiar with all the guys that are doing it now, it is still fun to watch for me.
Now, it sounds like, just like so many of us, Adam and I included, and a number of your teammates who have been on in the past, you watched during the heyday of wrestling, during those Monday Night Wars. You spoke about Kevin Nash and Goldberg. Were you more of a WCW guy back in the day, or did you go back and forth between Nitro and Monday Night Raw?
I was more of a Nitro guy. I mean, I really liked watching, the Wolf Pack and Hulkamania and all those guys. That's what I was really into.
What is your favorite match of all time?
Good question.
That's a tough one. I think it was a Hell in a Cell match with with Mick Foley and I think The Undertaker. I may be wrong, but I remember I remember seeing a match from way long ago with them two duking it out, and I just thought I was sold as a wrestling fan from that point forward. I don't know if it was Hell in a Cell, but it was in some alternate setting, and it was awesome.
Are you talking about where Undertaker threw him off the top of the cell through the table, and then actually threw him through the top of the cell into the ring?
Yes, that one, yeah.
Yep, that'd be the Hell in the Cell. That's kind of the match that really launched Mick Foley to that next level.
Launched Mick Foley, and really, if there were any question marks about pro wrestling's popularity, I mean, that really solidified it and just drew in millions and millions of viewers, and obviously the three of us are still talking about that today. And did you know, Ryan Kerrigan, obviously, maybe you didn't because, well, you didn't watch, but Mick Foley actually was on Monday Night Raw last night talking about that very match. It lasts to this day.
Oh, really? That's kind of coincidence thing because I didn't even see Raw last night. I was watching the football game, which is a whole other story. But
yes, it is.
Well, that's kind of interesting.
Well, last question before we let you go, and then we're actually going to give you an opportunity to ask Adam a question. Turn the tables a little bit. But this has kind of been the hot topic around the league this week and this season so far. The replacement officials, some questionable calls in some situations. There was a situation with offensive coordinator Kyle Shanahan where he really didn't appreciate a call late in the game and made his opinion very well known. What have you seen out of these replacement officials, and do you think that their presence on the field is really undermining the integrity and the safety of the game?
Well, I mean, I think, like anybody, I mean, there certainly is some questionable calls out there, but I mean, by the same token, there's some question. I mean, you question some calls when the regular refs are in there. So it's a fine line, but I mean, at the same time, you see some of the things, and it's just, I mean, we all saw the play what happened last night. I mean, it's just a little. I mean, you hope something gets done soon.
I think we need to bring some of these wrestling refs over. Have them officiate a few games. I think they do an all right job.
Couldn't do any worse. I'll tell you
I can't argue.
Now, Ryan, before we let you go, is there anything that you want to ask Adam? This is your opportunity to put him on the spot. The interviewee becomes the interviewer.
I've always wondered. I know you played with Philip Daniels for a little bit here, and he was, one of the consummate strong guys in the weight room, and you are as well. Who was stronger between you two?
Me.
What kind of numbers are we talking here?
Phil, he's going to brag all day about his squat and his deadlift, and he's going to beat me in those two things. But let's say there's 100 lifts in the world. There's way more than that. Let's just say there's 100. He's going to win those two. I'm going to win the other 98. But he's going to say because he wins those two that he's the strongest guy. But I will win the other 98. You can do bench, you can do pinky curls, you can do tricep curls, anything. I will win. Don't listen to what he says.
That's one thing I've always appreciated about you, Adam, is you're confident. You're a confident guy, and I appreciate that about you.
And so humble.
Redskins linebacker Ryan Kerrigan, this week's Fourth and Pain Championship Player of the Week. Thanks so very much for joining us.
All right, thanks for having me on. I had a good time.
Thanks for coming on, man.
This is Fourth and Pain. We'll be right back.